Hey, Facebook friendlies in Van City. I just wanted to make a quick video about my personal religious beliefs and a statement I usually make that I usually get made fun of for a lot, or people usually don't understand or poke fun at me is how the three major organized religions could all be true. So to wrap your head around this one and to really get into this, it would take me a very long time to discuss it with you. It would take. You could talk for weeks about this, and I could explain to you how all three could be true. But I don't have that kind of time, so I'll summarize it for you. Basically, there's more than one thing that can happen to you after you die. There's lots of things that could happen to you, and I don't think that reincarnation. I think reincarnation is one of those things. I don't dismiss that as a possibility. So reincarnation is definitely true. So if that's true, then Catholicism and Buddhism, there's not a lot contradicting each other there. Basically, if you're reincarnated on Earth, that really might be a form of hell, or if you're reincarnated in North America, that might be purgatory. Catholics believe that certain areas of Earth is purgatory. Certain areas might be hell-like. There's the Quran and Muslim beliefs. How could this possibly be true? Well, I don't want to touch on this religion too much because it's not one that I have a lot of access to knowledge for, other than some things that I've come across and my understanding of it. But there's definitely truth in that. I think Muslims do believe that reincarnation is one of the things that can happen to you, and if you die in a holy war and you kill a bunch of people that are opposed to inherent good natured fight that you were fighting, you die a good soldier, and you die in battle or you commit suicide, then it's very possible to be reborn as a alpha prime male. Be reborn as an alpha prime male, and through the course of your life as that alpha prime male, have 12 virgins. So maybe reborn here on Earth, maybe reborn in some other universe or planet. But it's very possible to be reborn in very attractive alpha prime and have 12 virgins growing up. So that's possible. Maybe the average is 12. I don't know why they came across that number, but the thing is, I really didn't want to go that route because you could be reborn here as an alpha prime, maybe an Aryan male or something like that, and get 12 virgins going to school here or something. But what about after, though? You could be reborn a transsexual or a hermaphrodite for after doing that, because Jesus is here and he has certain rules for us. So that wouldn't be a good path. But I mean, if my hand was forced, then I might consider it. But I don't want to discuss this too much further. But religious beliefs, they really don't contradict when you take into account supernatural things that could be occurring on Earth, like omnipotent beings, people with telepathy, possibilities for people to be concurrently here in time and space, little really complex things that you have to really wrap your head around to really understand religion. And lots of people dismiss these things as not being possible and true, yet they believe in an omnipotent creator and God, and that is here on Earth. So and they don't even believe in simple things like demonic possession or things like that, or divine interventions, but these things are all possible and real. And that's the sad thing about our community right now. If you have an experience that isn't like a common person's, you will get dismissed as being crazy or lying, or just won't be believed for whatever reason. And that's normal. That's normal for people to think that you're making it up or you're lying because they don't have that experience to relate to. So you have to understand that people are just reacting in a very normal way when you try to share these experiences with them. They're not going to believe you. Say you are reincarnated here and you remember your last life when you're in your 30s, and you try and tell someone that hasn't ever been reincarnated, doesn't have a past life that they remember, you're going to get made fun of, you're going to get ridiculed, but you're telling the truth, and there will be doctors that say you're crazy, that there's something wrong with you. When there have been people that we know that have been living here that really do remember their past life, like Jesus, the Buddha, all these people, they really do have past lives. I'm an existentialist, and I believe that everything that the universe is trying to communicate to me in a passive or indirect way, and I believe that that I'm meant to be Catholic, and I haven't turned away from the Catholic Church. Lots of saints, they were excommunicated before they became saints, and a lot of you are probably wondering, how is that possible? Why would someone get excommunicated by their church, but then still be recognized as a saint like 300 or 400 years after? And that's up for discussion. If you're interested in knowing the answer to that question, I really can't answer that for you. If you post it in the comments or something, I'll have an open discussion with you about the reason for that and the reason why something like that could happen. The laws of the universe and karma take everything into consideration. And the truth is, just because something applied to someone in that circumstance, in that situation, and they went somewhere like heaven, and the same person did the same act before they died, and they went to hell, the law takes everything into consideration. Intent and your intention and what you thought you were doing, that really does come into account. And I don't know how to explain it, but if you're benevolent and good natured in what you were trying to do, you really will get to a better place, and you'll inherit a better existence. And I don't want to get into my supernatural things that I've experienced, like my long fasting periods, my visions, and things like that have happened to me. That's really personal. I don't want to scare people, and I don't want to come across as being crazy just for making these claims. But I do want to just explain that every religion does have its merits and its truth, and they don't necessarily contradict when you really do take into account things that are defying scientific explanation. And it's hard to understand how all these religions could be true and not contradict when you don't have a grasp on how the world works for a god or a being that's more evolved in their existence. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any questions about this, how every religion could be true and not contradict, I can explain every major contradiction I've come across, and I can explain the contradiction to you, and it will make sense, and I'll explain why it doesn't contradict. But I could talk to you forever about this, and then you could come up with every contradiction that you find between the Bible, the Quran, and Buddhism. I could explain it to you and explain the reason why, and then you will understand. It will make sense. But it requires a bit of faith on your part. It requires a little bit of faith and a little bit of understanding, and just to go on a limb and believe that there's things that could happen that don't necessarily that defy scientific explanation. So and the Quran I don't know a whole lot about, but I do know that I'll summarize what I do understand about it, that it's a warrior's religion, really, a soldier's religion, and I don't want to get too into it, but if you have questions about what I've come to understand about the Quran, I can explain it to you. But it's not for everyone, and it's not false in what it's saying. And you have to understand that Gabriel and Jesus, they're both sentient beings, and they don't, after the events of his crucifixion and 500 years after that, they might necessarily not get along anymore. They could get along, they might not get along, but Gabriel has his own intention and his own right to be teaching humankind on earth the truths of the Quran, and go against Jesus' teachings. That's very possible, but that's not for me to comment on, really, or to speculate and say for sure that Gabriel and Jesus don't get along. But there's reasons for that, and or maybe Gabriel. There could be any number of reasons why Gabriel might have wanted humankind to have the Quran in this way, in this version, and in this form, but it's not for us to speculate and say why Gabriel wanted humankind to be taught religion this way. And you can accept religion any way you want, but where you end up, it will be a different path for everyone, but hopefully you all end up in a happier place. So, yeah, just wanted to share my thoughts on that. And if you have questions or want to discuss, I'm more than open to it. So yeah, that's all from me. Hope you're having a great day. Bye.